Hello everybody, I'm RENZO mocs and welcome back to another mock review. Today we're taking a look at the Beige GCU Commander. Now this guy has been a little teased for a while. I have been making sure that I've been spending as much time away from him as possible. But now I'm finally going to get out the review just to kind of get it over with, because he's not a major character or anything. He's not particularly a mock I really wanted to review. However, he's here and he's interesting, so I want to cover him. He also has actually had a couple updates, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, anyways, let's get started with the review of the Beige GCU Commander. So right off the bat, I want to address the fact that I have made a couple changes to him. So originally there was a really rustic feeling to him, kind of like he was some old scrapped up GCU drone or something like that, and I didn't really want that. He is a lot scrappier than a lot of the other GCU drones, but that's more of his personal style. He's trying to be a lot more scrappy and intimidating looking while also being a smaller model. In fact, he's not even a big commander. He's about the exact same size as a standard medium-sized drone. So he's not anything really special, but you will notice there's a particularly interesting decision about him that I made. That's the fact that all the GCU commanders so far have had tan primarily in their color scheme, with some beige or with some of their other colors like red or blue or yellow, whatever, poking through. Like, for instance, their head would always be this sort of piece in this color, in the tan color, with some sort of badge or some sort of weird badge on the top of their head in that color. But the Beige GCU Commander is one of the only ones who actually has himself in this primary color rather than being mostly tan. And I think that's really interesting. He doesn't have a badge of tan either because his whole head is tan. He's only got one, beige, sorry. But he actually has the one tan piece right here. That's the only tan piece on his entire body. Other than that, he's all beige and silver and gunmetal. And I think that's really, really interesting because it stands out a lot more than you might expect. Anyways, I've been talking for way too long. Let's get into the actual mock. Also, we'll mention there is some tan right here, but that was actually unintentional, but I'm glad it's there anyways. He's got a very interesting build. He's, like I said, he is very rusty looking. He's very scrappy, I guess, if you want to use that word. He is carrying just a standard gun. This is not specifically his gun. This is just a standard Space First gun, so I decided to give it to him. Just a little red model. I'll take that off now. Again, he's built very, very standardly. He actually has the gimmick of having these sort of engines, or not, these aren't engines, he has these thrusters all over his body. So he's got two on his feet, which actually do help him balance quite a lot, you'd be surprised. And then he has the two jutting out of his shoulders. And if you can't guess, this guy is definitely supposed to be an air fighter. This character would most likely go around fighting in the air. So he's another flying model, as you can tell, because of the huge propellers on his back. This isn't subtle at all, but I actually really like these. They spin very well. They can move so that they can get a better arrangement throughout. You can bring them down all the way like that. You can bend them up like that. You can bring that all the way up and then move it that way. There's a ton of possibilities for you to get out of that. I will mention that his back actually has a tan, or the beige piece with, I keep getting those two mixed. He's got a beige piece with some red in there, because that's from the Beige Malbus set. There is some red in here. I don't like that. I could easily replace that, but I'm not really bothered to. I actually really do like the way how the back looks. It looks really nice. The chest is a little weird. I just used that foot piece in silver. He does have a kind of a gut hanging out, but he has a green core. And again, like I mentioned earlier, he does have the tan shoulder plate, and he does have this huge hook arm, which a lot of the GCU have these sort of robotic weapon arms, and he's no exception. He just has this much larger hook-like arm, which that's all it is. It's literally just a giant glorified hook that he could grab things with and stuff like that. He does get his own little unique symbol over here, which this is actually from the Evo set. It says Evo, but I mean, it's not Evo. And then he does have this piece, the drone piece, which I really like using for robot mocks. But other than that, there really isn't you can, if you want to pose him, you can lift these up, and you can kind of get the impression that this is what he would be looking like if he's flying with the thrusters down there like that. I think that's a good look for him. He would be mostly a flying character. I assume he probably could take off the propellers. Yeah, I assume that's probably an addition that he could put on, like, when he's in his ship or something like that. Kind of like how the Red Commander had to put on his sword. I imagine this would be attached by a robotic arm if he really wanted it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Beige GCU Commander. I've spent a lot more time on this guy than I thought I would. Very interesting and fun-looking mock. Very simple, but I like him. So the Beige GCU Commander is, again, simple, but I actually really like him. He's one of the smallest GCU commanders, being just a standard drone who's been slightly modified to fit his color scheme and his sort of little additions. For instance, he got more thrusters added onto him, he got a color change, and he got the large propeller upgrade, and obviously the hook upgrade. But that's about it. Other than that, he's pretty much just a standard middle-class GCU drone. I do like this guy a lot. I think he stands out from the bunch a lot. He's not just a standard weirdo like everyone else. He's kind of the most normal GCU drone in the mix. Probably not. You'll see. There's a lot more down the line. Maybe not ones that all show, but down the line you're probably going to see some weirder and more normal ones here mixed around every now and then. But yeah. But that's about it for him. I don't have much else to say. You guys wanted the review of him. I gave you guys the review, and I think he's interesting. I don't think he's particularly amazing. I think he's good for what it's worth. But other than that, I mean, I think he's just okay. But yeah, that's about it for the GCU Beige Commander. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned, because I do have a little bit of a special announcement after this. Hello everybody, welcome to the special announcement. Now, this usually would be the voting corner thing. However, I'm going to change things up a bit. I'm going to make sure that it's a little bit different this time around, because I'm going to give you guys a lot more options. So recently it's just, you guys pick the mock, and then I review 3 of those mocks, and it's not really fun for me to decide what mocks I get to review next. So instead, we're going to be splitting up into 3 categories of mock reviews. They're going to be, yes, this is kind of confusing, but allow me to explain the best. You guys are going to pick from 3 different genres of mock you want me to review next. I'll review all of those mocks that I have remaining, and then I'll just move on to the next group. This will fill up my 100 slot very, very well, and I hope you guys enjoy, because there's a lot of stuff to behold here. So let's just start off with the obvious one. Bad guys or villains. Let me just stand him up here. The first slot is villains or bad guys or just bounty hunters or people who do bad things, I suppose. I actually don't have that many villains left. I'm just trying to stand this guy up. Okay. I actually don't have that many villains left, but this is just like to ask you about the category a little bit. My camera's wobbling a little bit. I hope that goes away. But this is just, I have only a couple more villain mocks left. Not that many, but still. You guys can either vote on villain types of mocks, or you guys can go for robots. I have a lot of robot mocks waiting to be reviewed. If you guys want to see android robot mocks, then I will review those ones next. Or finally, we can just go with some classic standard aliens. So basically you have 3 tiers of mocks to choose from. You have the villains, which there aren't that many left, just keep that in mind. Just the bad guys or villain tier mocks, robots and droids and drones and stuff like that, or just standard aliens, weird alien creatures, civilians, stuff like that. And you guys get to pick which genre you want. So you guys either pick from villain, robots, or aliens. You guys choose. You guys have fun. This is going on for far too long, but I hope you guys have fun choosing, because either way, I'm going to be happy with the result, because I love reviewing mocks. And I don't have that many villain mocks left. However, I do have a ton of robot mocks to be reviewed, and I have a lot of alien mocks on the chopping block. So please let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will review whichever gets the most votes. So yeah, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Villains, robots, or aliens. Yeah, anyways, have fun voting. See you guys later. Goodbye.